Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into cultivation theory, a foundational communication theory that has had a significant impact on how we understand the role of media in shaping our perceptions of reality. This theory explains how long-term exposure to media influences how we view the world, and it offers fascinating insights into the relationship between media consumption and social behavior. First introduced by George Gerbner in the 1960s, cultivation theory suggests that television, and by extension modern media, doesn't just provide entertainment or information, it actually cultivates our understanding of reality. The more we watch, the more likely we are to believe that the world reflects what we see on screen, even if those portrayals don't accurately represent real life. Let's take a deeper look at what this theory is all about. At the heart of cultivation theory is the belief that media influences the perceptions of its viewers, especially when it comes to understanding things like social norms, personal relationships, and even issues of race, class, and gender. Gerbner argued that repeated exposure to certain types of content on television, particularly violence, shapes our perception of the world around us. One of the key components of cultivation theory is the idea of cumulative exposure. Over time, the messages portrayed in the media accumulate and begin to shape the way we see the world. This is not about one single exposure to a TV show or commercial. It's about consistent, repeated messages over a long period that gradually cultivate a worldview. For example, think about the portrayal of crime in the media. Watching crime dramas or news reports about violent crimes can make people believe that crime is more widespread or violent than it actually is. This phenomenon is often referred to as mean world syndrome, a term coined by Gerbner to describe the idea that heavy media consumers tend to believe the world is a much more dangerous place than it really is. Cultivation theory doesn't focus on immediate changes in behavior. Instead, it emphasizes long-term shifts in attitudes. For instance, someone who watches several hours of television every day may begin to internalize media portrayals and view the world through that lens. The theory posits that the more media you consume, the more likely you are to adopt the distorted or exaggerated worldviews portrayed on your screens. If you constantly see certain stereotypes in television shows or films, such as women always being portrayed as victims or minorities depicted in certain limited roles, those images begin to shape how you see the world. In a way, television programs become the lens through which viewers interpret reality. Moreover, cultivation theory suggests that heavy media consumption can blur the lines between real life and what is portrayed on the screen. If you watch a lot of media content, you may start to believe that the depictions of relationships, jobs, and even political ideologies are more accurate than they really are. Now let's talk about how Coca-Cola, one of the most powerful brands in the world, has used cultivation theory in its marketing strategy over the years. Coca-Cola's campaigns have been masterful in cultivating a specific kind of worldview among consumers, one where the brand is not just about refreshing drinks, but about shared experiences, celebration, and togetherness. For decades, Coca-Cola's advertisements have portrayed an idealized version of reality. These ads often feature people enjoying Coke together at parties, family gatherings, or holiday celebrations. The key here is repetition. Coca-Cola's consistent messaging over the years has cultivated an emotional connection between the brand and positive experiences. Viewers come to associate the product with moments of happiness, joy, and connection. A classic example is Coca-Cola's holiday advertisements, particularly the annual Christmas campaign. Every year, Coca-Cola features its iconic red truck, the image of Santa Claus, and festive, joyful moments that revolve around the shared experience of drinking a Coke. By repeating this message year after year, Coca-Cola has cultivated an idea that the holiday season isn't complete without its drink. This long-term, repetitive exposure to these positive images creates a perception that Coca-Cola is more than just a soda. It becomes a symbol of tradition, family bonding, and celebration. This cultivated worldview has been incredibly successful in driving Coca-Cola's brand loyalty and consumer behavior, where people often feel that consuming the product is part of participating in social traditions. Another significant aspect of cultivation theory is how media influences public perceptions of social issues such as race, class, and gender. Over time, if certain groups are portrayed in a stereotypical manner, or if certain social issues are constantly presented in a specific light, these portrayals can deeply influence societal attitudes. For example, the portrayal of police officers and criminals in television shows and movies can shape our perceptions of law enforcement and justice. If you watch numerous crime dramas that depict police officers as heroic figures and criminals as dangerous villains, you may come to adopt this narrow understanding of law enforcement and crime, despite the reality being more complex. Similarly, consider the portrayal of gender roles in popular media. If women are mostly seen in stereotypical roles like stay-at-home mothers or victims of violence, this can reinforce societal norms about the roles women should play in real life, even if these depictions don't reflect the full diversity of women's experiences in the world. A core concept of cultivation theory is mainstreaming. This is the idea that over time, heavy exposure to television content causes people from different backgrounds to adopt similar beliefs and values, regardless of their initial differences. In other words, television helps mainstream opinions about issues like beauty standards, morality, or social norms. For example, consider how television has influenced ideas about beauty. Over the years, television shows and advertisements have repeatedly portrayed certain beauty standards as desirable, such as slim bodies, smooth skin, and youthful appearances. As a result, many people, regardless of their cultural background, have come to internalize these standards as the ideal, often leading to feelings of inadequacy or pressure to conform. Despite its many contributions to our understanding of media, cultivation theory has faced some criticisms over the years. One major critique is that it tends to oversimplify the effects of media. Critics argue that it doesn't account for the diversity of media consumption today. Unlike when Gerbner first proposed the theory, today we have a highly fragmented media landscape with streaming services, social media, and various content platforms. This diversification means that people are exposed to a wider variety of content, which can lead to differing interpretations and reactions to the media consumed. Another criticism is that cultivation theory doesn't consider individual agency. People are not passive recipients of media messages. They engage with media in different ways, influenced by their personal experiences, education, and social context. Media consumption is not always passive. Some viewers actively seek out content that aligns with their existing beliefs, making the effects of media less uniform than the theory suggests. In conclusion, cultivation theory has had a profound impact on our understanding of how media shapes our perceptions of reality. Whether it's Coca-Cola's portrayal of joyous celebrations or television's depiction of crime, the media plays a significant role in cultivating shared perceptions and beliefs. The key takeaway is that over time, media exposure can create a collective worldview, even if that worldview doesn't always align with real life. What do you think? Have you noticed how media affects the way you see the world, especially with the rise of social media and streaming platforms? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated on more in-depth explorations of communication theories and their real-world impact. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.